Welcome, everybody. Hopped Up Beer Review Live. This is the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. It is Memorial Day, and we decided to do a beer review live. So if you're out there watching this, definitely appreciate you checking it out, whether you're checking it out live or after the fact. But we got some comments over here. If you want to leave one, you can definitely do that. As always, I've got Andy in the attic, who is ever haunted by Atticus there over his shoulder. I've got Jay, and Jay's buddy Mike is joining us today. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Going good, going good.
All right, appreciate you joining us today. Yeah, Memorial Day. For those of you outside the States, Memorial Day is a day where we take a little time out to honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in our military. And that is what we are doing today with some of that time. But we also thought it was a good opportunity for us to do a lame beer show review. So we're here to do that too. Appreciate you guys joining us. So gentlemen, similar to our regular shows, what are we drinking today here as we normalize morning beers?
Parish's Jungle Juice from the Drive Thru series.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like a good one to crack open and
yeah, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I've chosen my Parish glass that Jay provided me with. So, it always tastes better when it's in the glass from the brewery.
It's funny. This not the first time I've had it, but when the first time I poured it, I truly expected it to be red and not as most jungle juice we've done.
Me too.
It's a little chunky on this pour here. Both of these. Can't really see them.
Probably pineapple. A little bit of orange. Okay. Breakfast.
Yes, breakfast or brunch beer.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers. Oh goodness! Now it has been some months since I've had it, so and I don't recall drinking it this early. So let's go through this. This is part of their Drive Thru series from Parish. It's a Berliner Weiss. Their Drive Thru series are their homage to the drive-through daiquiri shops of Louisiana. Louisiana is well known for their party mentality, and you can literally drive through, whether it's a bar or a package store. In some places, they have a window to drive up to, and they will give you a daiquiri. And they've got a wide range of daiquiris, and that's why the Parish did this. They did. We're going to get to that. I mean, if you want to say something, Jay, please do.
We talked about it in previous Drive Thru.
Yeah, the straw with the when they give it to you, you can see the straw with the cap on it. Yeah, they didn't take the paper off the top.
So it's not an open container.
Right. So that's how they get around that. We've done Purple 9000, correct?
Yep.
And did we do Tiger Blood on this? We didn't get to do
I
Tiger
don't
Blood.
think we did Tiger Blood.
So we did the Purple 9000. This one, as I said, is Berliner Weiss. 8% is made out of tropical fruit and citrus, pineapple, strawberry, orange, lemon, and lime. And they use crystal hops. Flavor profile is creamy, fruity, juicy.
I don't know about the first one.
Creamy.
Maybe when it was fresher.
Yeah, it's mine's a little dated. I don't know about yours.
Yeah, I've had mine a while. Maybe yours broke down a bit. Mine is about 9 months old.
Yep, about the same.
Yeah. So the recipe for a daiquiri jungle juice is rum, lime juice, simple syrup, sugar, They usually use fruit punch, cranberry juice, orange juice, and or pineapple juice. The history of jungle juice, I mean, we all have our own personal history. So when you hear of jungle juice, not as in daiquiri form, what do y'all think?
Hunch punch.
A college punch.
Yeah.
Frat party punch.
Exactly.
Punch punch, jungle juice, whoop juice, what we all called it. And it is pretty much a assortment of whatever you can find to add to the main drinking source. It's typically traditionally a grain alcohol, like Everclear and all, but if you don't have that, you could use vodka, gin, things like that. Usually a clear alcohol. Fruit, any assorted cut up fruit was added to it, and then sugary fruit juices. I mean, we've used Kool-Aid packets with water.
Hawaiian tropic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hawaiian punch,
Yeah,
things
Hawaiian
like
punch.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, any sort of type of fruit juice. And there is a brand of non-alcoholic fruit juice called Jungle Juice that I remember we used to have a store from my high school, like a grocery store, and it had it in those like paper cartons, like you could get milk in, but they sold it in small, personal amounts. And the main source was any large container you could find, whether it was a cooler, a trash can. We never went so far as doing a bathtub, but it has been known to do as for some people in bathtubs. So, but when we did it in college, we typically bought a brand new trash can.
Sure we did.
Rubbermaid.
Yeah. I just use the same one over and over. Did we ever put a liner in it? I mean, those years are a little hazy right now for when it was lunch, but
No,
I only remember
the whip juice.
Yeah, I only remember a cooler, and I remember.
No.
I only remember a cooler. I'm not saying we didn't
trash
use
cans. I
anything
know we
else.
did trash cans.
I just remember with the cooler, the bottom is white, and so I remember looking in that like the next day when there was still some left over, and just how much dirt there was in there from people's hands dipping, and it's just. I think that was the last time I partook of the jungle juice.
If you were bold enough, you would also go the next morning back for more.
Yeah, was definitely not. So definitely not. But yeah, I don't remember a trash can in our illustrious days in college.
Well, how did we get to this? How did we get to jungle juice? Anybody have any idea where that came from? I mean, it was something that's passed down over and over. You just, whether you knew it in high school or college, it was always somebody before you was doing it, and then you learned it from that. Well, we have to thank one of the stories, our U.S. soldiers, our veterans back in the 40s in the Southwest Pacific, when they were literally stationed in the jungle, and all that was provided for them was chlorinated water and coffee, nothing alcoholic. And so Uncle Sam didn't ration out alcohol like some other countries did for their people during wartime. So they had to find whatever they could, and they typically found anything that could ferment. So they found fruit of all sorts and add sugar to it, and they would put it in containers like they would do it in coconuts, but then they would find any type of drum that they could, or they would put together and make their own stills out of it. And then the water. Some of the water wasn't the best, and it turned it different colors. So that's pretty much where we got jungle juice today, is thanking our the U.S. military in the Southwest.
So, let's take a question and ask Mike. Mike is a U.S. veteran from the U.S. Navy. Did y'all do anything of the sort in creating jungle juice on the ships?
No. Well, I was lucky when I was in that if you did 45 days at sea, you got 3 beers. So everybody prayed for 45 days straight. You got yourself your 3 beers. And the thing is if you had a friend who didn't drink, guess how many more beers you got?
Yeah.
Problem was that some people had a little more than they needed to, and they always threaten, "Oh, if you do that again next time, we're not going to have the beer day. We're not going to have a beer day." So, but yeah, no, we but the parties when you're on land, same thing. Everybody brings something, throw it together, and see what happens. So start taste testing and see what comes out of it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. There's not a real recipe for this, I don't think.
Yeah, it all has the same effect.
Yeah.
It all,
What
yeah,
beers?
it all has the same effect. Gut rot. So.
Yeah. What beers did they provide y'all? What were the beers that they gave?
Oh, it was Budweiser. You didn't have a whole lot of choice. It was there was no craft beer. It was just straight Budweiser.
I didn't know if they got it more from the area that y'all were in.
Not necessarily. A lot of it was shipped in on a ship probably about 3 days prior to our 45th day at sea, and it was the MAs, the Master at Arms, would secure it in a storeroom, and there would be a guard on that storeroom. And then taking it from the storeroom and bringing it up to, because we'd have a Steel Beach picnic at the same time, there'd be Master at Arms stationed all along the way that the beer would be traveling from the storeroom up to the flight deck. And they watched it so that nobody kind of walked off with a case of beer or something like that. So, oh yeah. Now, granted, they didn't take an inventory, but I'm sure at least 1 or 2 cases probably made it somewhere. Not going to say it was all enlisted people that did it like that. There could have been some officers that might have snagged it.
Some officers.
They had their own staterooms they could hide it in. So, with us being in a 90-man berthing, it's pretty hard to hide a case of beer in a 90-man berthing. So, and then you could hear the pop of the cap. So.
But you're drinking beer on the flight deck at that point?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
They'd cancel flight ops, so they actually would bring up some. They had like 45-gallon drum barrels. They cut them in half. They made barbecues out of them. They cook hamburgers and hot dogs up there. I mean, it was like basically it was called a Steel Beach picnic. So it was kind of, that was a way that you get a little bit of R&R without having to hit shore to do it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I say that's pretty cool. That having never done it, of course, you may think that's terrible.
Well, a lot of the times I work nights, so the thing is that the day shift people got to enjoy all that stuff because they didn't have to work or anything. Our night check would come in after the Steel Beach picnic was over to get ready for the flight the next day, so we had to make sure the planes were ready and all that stuff. So it was. I mean, it was interesting. Like I said, I heard stories about what happened on the flight deck, and I was on the ships that had females on them. So, they were out there in it was almost like a casual day. So they didn't have to wear their uniforms. They could get dressed in shorts and stuff like that. So, they look different, a lot different in uniform than when they're in civilian clothes. So I even tried throwing footballs around or Frisbees, but that stuff would start going over the sides. And it was like, yeah. Our morale, welfare, and recreation started losing too much of their sports equipment. So.
Sure. You don't just retrieve that. Huh? It's not good.
Not at all. Yeah. Not at all. So
you should put a shuffleboard up there. Just tape out a cord.
Probably. Well, it's not a very smooth surface up there, so you take a lot of oomph to go from one end to the other. But football is you can throw a football, and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go diving for it. That's for sure.
Might go diving literally, huh?
Exactly.
All right.
But,
well, again, we're doing this live, so if you're out there watching and you have any comments or questions, feel free to post those. Definitely appreciate you checking out this video. Of course, we're treating this as a pretty much a normal beer review for us, other than the fact that we're doing it live and you get to see us mess up sometimes, which with the recorded we get to edit those out. You guys do not know how much editing I have to do just to bring you one Hopped Up Beer Review show. It is insane. So hours and hours. Andy, what else did we have, if anything, on Parish or Drive Thru?
That's pretty much it for the beer. As for Parish, it is our most reviewed brewery here. Add another to the playlist. Out of Broussard, Louisiana. It's a regional brewery founded in 2009. Excellent beer. Again, I stress, if you can find Parish out anywhere, drink it.
I do got a question for you. How many different types are in the Drive Thru family of beers?
Good question. I'm going to look that up right now. I actually have it.
We know three.
This one is good.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering how many other ones are out there.
We know of at least 3 or 4 because we've done Purple 9000, which was the purple. We did Tiger Blood,
Jungle Juice.
Jungle Juice.
Orange Octane is another one. There's 4.
So there's 4.
Okay.
Amaretto Pineapple, 5. Let's see. And then so far, I think that's just 5. The 5.
Wow.
Oh, wait a sec. Raspberry and Mango Margarita. 6. Fruited. Yeah.
I think I see a trip to Louisiana coming my way.
Yeah, we've always wanted to go there. I mean, their beer is probably by far our favorite out of the Southeast region. All of their drive-through series have a can just like that. They just change them a little bit, like you see the Jungle Juice there. But they all have the daiquiri. It says drive-through, and they all have the straw. So those are the drive-through series. Then they have their Sips series, which you've had some of that, Mike, where we've reviewed a few of those. Those are a lot less. I don't know, Andy, if we talked about percentage. This is an 8% beer.
Yeah. I think Purple 9000 was like 9%. No, it was 8% as well.
Most of the drive-throughs are up there around 8 or 9, whereas the Sip series, those are really about 4.5 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is a really good breakfast beer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
And real quick, just want to mention, Robert, appreciate you checking out our video. If you are a Disney fan like I am, you have to go check out Florida Fun Quest. They do live streams from Disney World. So check that out. I'll put that down in the description after the show. I appreciate you guys checking out our video this morning. Anthony, good morning as well. Thanks for jumping in and saying hey.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hey, y'all. So I grew up adjacent to in a town that borders Louisiana, right on the river in Mississippi. And as a teens, we would frequently go across the river to these hole-in-the-wall bars out in the middle of nowhere. As soon as you cross the river, there's like a gas station, and then you take a little road off to the side, and there was a bar, a packaged liquor store, and then on a little farther down the road, there was this place called Daiquiri World, and it was a steel corrugated steel building, one big room, tables, pool tables at one end, and then the bar was against the back wall, and they had all their daiquiri machines going. You could sit at the bar, at the tables, but what was cool about it was that at the back wall was their drive-through window, so you could see who was driving through picking up daiquiri. So you're like, hey, man, you could wave to your friends who were just getting one for the road or get it to go down somewhere else and just not stay at the bar. Oh, the good old days, yeah.
And you were 21 or older when you went there, right?
Well, back in Louisiana.
In those days, we were getting our driver's license at 15.
Yep.
And for the longest time, Louisiana, it was 18 to drink. Now, they changed that before I got my license. It was 21, but they didn't change the culture. So they didn't care very much about enforcing the age requirements on entry. Yeah. So if you had a license, you could get in.
Even now, there's like nothing around that area. I mean, so why would law enforcement even come out that far back in those days?
And you got to think of it also. They're paying a lot of taxes to the local, the parish, the sheriff. Yeah. And I frequented more of the other. I didn't go to Daiquiri World as much as I went to PJ's because it was like shack with another shack built adjacent. They just kept adding on, and thank goodness, I never saw it in the light of day or with the lights on. It was always dark and well lit. But I always said when you go to the front door, it's a very poorly lit entrance, this old yellowish light. And when there's this old dude named Turtle checking IDs, you're going to get in, it's smoke from his cigarette. He can't really see the ID. He's like, if you got an ID, you're going to get in.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think I've stopped at one of those in the day here years ago, and if I remember correctly, they actually have like a steak night. So definitely you get off at Delta in Louisiana, take a right. It's right there on the right is where I'm talking about. Yeah, they have like a steak night.
Did you go?
No, we were there at we were heading over to Texas or something. We were stopping in the middle of it was probably 11 a.m., probably about this time of day.
Did you get a drink?
I mean, I'm not going to say whether we got something or not, maybe. But anyway. All right. Well, again.
Oh, wait, I must say I am watching on our Instagram Live, and we're to give a shout out to Channing Gallagher. So
what's up?
I hope y'all know who that is.
We do. Yeah.
So a shout out. So we actually have to I declare bankruptcy. Channing Gallagher.
Channing Gallagher.
Yeah. We're so good at this. We're so good at this live stuff. So we do 520, 530 actual reviews, and then we try to do one live. And
this is why we don't do it live.
Yeah. I will have to say, I don't think we've done a review this early in the day ever. I can't remember us ever reviewing at 10 a.m. So this is definitely the earliest that I can recall. Right. So we've done a few afternoons, but never a morning. So back to your hashtag normalized morning beer that you like to promote there on our Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, it's not only for mimosas and Bloody Marys, it is for stouts and sours.
There you go.
Brunch beers. Yeah. Brunch beers. Yep. Put a beer in your face.
There you go. All right. Well, per as our custom, go around and review this one. Mike, we're going to let you go last since you're a guest. That's typically our path forward here. So, Jay, since you're next to Mike, why don't you go first?
Sure. So, Mike, I know you watch the show. We rate everything 0 to 10 on the half point scale. So, my beer, the one that Mike and I are sharing, it's obviously a little bit older and it has broken down somewhat. Although the flavor is still there, you can pick up on the combination of a lot of the fruits in there. It's got a lot going on between pineapple, strawberry, orange, lemon, and lime. And at 8%, you can actually taste a little more of the alcohol on this one, I thought today. It's a good flavor, but it's not my favorite out of the Drive Thru series. So I'm going to give it a 7. And part of that is maybe because it's a little bit older. If it was fresh or if I had it on draft, I think that'd make a big bit of difference. So.
All right. Andy, what say you?
It tastes harder than the jungle juice I've had in the past. And I think maybe the lime is coming through more on it than anything than the orange or strawberry. I've recalled from past, it's been years. I mean, can we say decades since I've had true jungle juice? And I do recall it being sweeter, fruitier, more that Hawaiian punch taste. And this is more of that tart lime pineapple coming through. Not as bad, but again, I've had multiples of these, but my expectations were different than what it provided. Still not a bad beer. It's just maybe I need to try a traditional jungle juice daiquiri to bring me more up to date. Other than that, I've had multiples, and I'll definitely have it again. I can give it a 7.5.
All right, I'll jump in and go. I will tell you the one thing you do not want to do before you drink one of these beers:
Brush
your teeth. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Brush my teeth this morning. Getting ready. Got to obviously look nice and ready to go for the show, so I can brush my teeth. Yeah, it gives you it's kind of like drinking orange juice and brushing your teeth. The first couple of sips, anyway. I think, Andy, the point you made at the very beginning is the same thought I had. When it came out of the can, I'm expecting it to be more red. And I think that's partly due to the can and just the redness of the actual, daiquiri that they have here. But as far as the flavor, yeah, I mean, it's just citrus all the way. It's a bunch of different citrusy type flavors, pineapple, orange, and just a mix of those. It kind of reminds me, though, too, given the theming, of if you're going someplace that has one of those multi-daiquiri walls, and they give you a little bit to try. I mean, you're going to come across one that tastes somewhat similar to this. You don't really know how to classify it. They give it some weird name, like I think you mentioned another one of these series, like High Octane or something.
Orange octane.
Yeah. So I think that's it's the flavor that you can't really describe real well, but it's citrusy and it's got alcohol in it. So that's, to me, it fits kind of the daiquiri theming from that standpoint. You can't pinpoint one flavor, but it's just a mix, like a jungle juice would truly be. So I think with all that, I think it's true to name in a sense, because when you mix all the ingredients like you've done before to create these, you don't know what the flavor is really going to be necessarily. It's going to be a big mix of stuff. So all that being said, it's a fine beer. I think it's a good beer to have in the morning for sure. This would be a great one in the Grove. This would be a great one, as you're kind of doing stuff around the house in the morning, and maybe you need to pick me up from the night before. So I'm going to give this one 7.5. It's like you. It's not my favorite. Not my favorite in the Jungle series that I've had, but it's fun to drink, and it's good. So that's it. Mike, what say you?
Well, Jay has been trying to get my palate. I'm not a beer connoisseur whatsoever. Some of the stuff he's given me, no. This, I think you guys are too hard on it. For somebody who's just a regular, everyday beer drinker, I'm looking forward to hitting all these other 4 beers that I haven't tried in this family. Thinking in my head now when my wife is going to be away so that Jay and I can go on a road trip down to Louisiana. And we could get there and back in like overnight. And that's probably, like I said, the flavor I think is great for a morning beer. Even in a hot in the afternoon out on the lake sweating, it'd be another nice, refreshing beer. I'm going to give it about an 8 to an 8.5. I mean, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not a connoisseur, but for just an average everyday Joe drinking a beer, this is good. This is flavorful. Every flavor that they mention, you can taste it. So, and the age wise, I'm not, like I said, you can tell how old it is. I have no complaints on that one, except that Jay didn't give me my own beer. But, oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah. And just to call out some of the comments here, Slurpee Dave is with us. Good afternoon, Slurpee Dave. It is still morning time for us, but Slurpee Dave's over on the Isle of Man. And afternoon for him. He does a great show. And yes, this is live. Slurpee Dave, you are not talking to yourself. We may have tricked you in the past with our Hopped Up Beer Review 24/7 live show, but you are live. You are seeing this in real time. We appreciate you hopping in and saying hello. Hope everything is going well over there on the Isle of Man for you today on this Monday. So appreciate you jumping in. All right, so we've got our score. This is normally the part of the show where we take a pause and actually do math.
Pretty easy math, man. I mean, come on. You got a 7, an 8, and 2 7.5s. Where do they meet in the middle?
Yeah, 7.5.
There you go.
Yeah. Math is not normally my thing. I'm trying to keep track of like 4. Normally it's just 3 I have to keep track of. So I'm trying to keep track.
That'd be a little more difficult.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So yeah, that's going to be a 7.5 here for the drive through. Definitely an interesting beer. Definitely a good morning beer. I think we've all said, hey, this one fits. And if you've ever been to Louisiana and had a daiquiri, I think you could probably find this in a daiquiri machine or something at least similar to this. So this is one that you want to try to pick up. And as we always say, you see anything from Parish, you got to grab it and give it a shot. We've done probably, I mean, realistically, how many Parish beers do you think we've done at this point?
I can tell you.
They can give you the exact
25, 30. That's my guess.
It's in the mid 20s at least.
Yeah. So, so this is a great brewery in our area. One that we fortunately can get a lot of their beer. I think it's probably, I think we'd all agree it's definitely one of the best breweries you're going to find in the U.S. There are a lot of good ones, but definitely for the Southeast, I think it's at the top.
Plus all their range, the series. They're well known for Ghost in the Machine across the country, but then they do all these variations of Ghost, and then they collaborate with other breweries based on Ghost. But then you've got their different series, like the Drive Thru series. They do great sour series. They've got the Drive Thru series. They've got the Mochi series. Mm-hmm. Then they've got the Welcome To series, and then they've got the Sip series, and those are all
Greetings from.
Yeah, the Greetings from. Yeah, that was. Yeah. So, and these are all different types of sours that they do. Then they've got their standards, like their stout and their coffee stout, and then their pale ale and their wheat ale.
Yeah, and I think to that point, I mean, we review so many of their beers because they put so many out that are different, which you don't see that number from a lot of breweries. And the ones that you do, I mean, the other one that comes to mind just off the top, it would be like an Other Half that has just a long list of different beers that they put out. And you may only see them for a short time, and then sometimes they rotate them around. So, Jay, what's the final count that we got there?
So this would be the 28th.
28th Parish beer. Wow.
Yep. We've done everything from, like you guys said, sips to the Greetings From to the Drive Thru to a lot of their individuals, all the way up to like the Gentilly Cake that we had, which was the specialty beer that we did. And yeah, Ben's got a bottle of
right there.
You can barely see it.
Yeah, so it's the striped bottle right there on the edge.
Yeah, that was a good beer.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's
all of them have been. So,
yeah. I do see the beer that you picked up in the gas station in Delta, Louisiana.
In Delta, yes, it's right here. This clay bottle
next to another Parish can. Is that Baby Ghost? That purple one.
That's the pink IPA that we did just recently.
Oh, that's a bottle. Oh, it looked like a can. I see.
And then our Worldwide Stout. Got a Pliny up there, some Bourbon County. Got my Arsenal glass. You can't see it. It's just off screen. Arsenal flag. So yeah, it's a little bit of decoration here. So, all right. Well, guys, it's Memorial Day. Any big plans for the group here? Anybody got anything that they're doing on this extra day off from a long weekend? I'm watching my two sons out here fight over something. And there goes the look. It just got
there's your Memorial Day right there.
There you go. Yeah.
We're hoping for no rain. I mean, it's been raining every weekend for 6 to 8 weeks now.
I'm packing.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm about to jet out of here. Actually, Sleepy Dave, I'm coming over to your side of the pond. I'm going to do a little tour of the UK, leaving tomorrow. So,
yep.
Yeah.
You notice he didn't invite us to join him. thanks for the invite. Appreciate that. But no, hope you have a great trip, Andy. We expect lots of shorts and lots of reviews, and because this is a work trip, right? This isn't family. You're going to do this for Hopped Up Beer Review, right?
Oh yes. Yeah, corporate is sending me. Could only send one of us, so corporate sent me.
Yeah,
I always fail to meet your expectations. So
yeah. 25 years
disappointed. Yes.
All right. We've been affected by the rain as well here. We had actually was iffy as if the show was going to actually get started this morning because we lost power last night, and luckily it came back on in the middle of the night. But it has been raining and just kind of a nasty day here. So I think we're probably gonna be inside most of the day. So this has been a great way to start the day and hang out with maybe some TV or a book or something. So I don't really read, so I don't know why I said that. But
you're rambling again.
Exactly. All right, Mike. Definitely appreciate you joining us on the show today.
I'm glad that Jay invited me to step in here. It was interesting. I've seen the videos, and I know I've seen him go to the back room all the time, and he wonder what's going on back there. Now I know.
We don't do that many reviews, so I don't know.
I was about to say.
But it's been nice to meet you and have you on the show today.
Yeah.
Come back anytime. That Jay is willing to share a beer. Maybe Jay will get you your own beer next time.
I'll get my own one day. Yeah,
it'd be a nice way to treat a guest of the show.
Believe me, I've had plenty of the beers that Jay has gone out and picked out. Some of them are really good, and some of them, to me, are really bad. I'm not an IPA fan at all.
There we go. Yeah,
speaking about language.
In a can.
Yeah, it's pine needles in a can. Just boil some water, put some pine needles in there. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'm not. I need a little more flavor than the evergreen tree.
Yeah. Depending on how IPA-ish, how evergreen-ish, I would agree with you on that. So, all right. Well, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and that goes to guys here on the show and everybody out there watching. Appreciate you checking out this video. We're gonna have some links down below as we always do. You can check those out. But hey, thanks for jumping in. Those of you that left a comment, we appreciate that, and hope everybody enjoys Memorial Day that is here in the U.S. And if you are not, hope you have a great Monday. With that, Andy in the attic, Jay, Mike, I'm Ben.
Mike ran out because we only had a little.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mates.
I just drank too fast. That's all. That's how much I enjoyed it.